Peter Kallstrom with the San Diego Workforce Partnership and Phil Blair with the employment agency Manpower. Welcome to Evening Edition.
Thank you.
Now, Peter, San Diego ranks 79 out of 100 metropolitan areas for poor performance in youth employment, and that's according to Census data in 2012. What are some of the key reasons that San Diego is lagging behind other cities?
A number of factors. In the recent past, we had a lot of subsidized employment through the federal government. That has evaporated, so it's left to our employers locally and our local electeds to be able to fill that gap and to provide more opportunity. Our landscape has changed quite a bit in our region too. In the past 15 years, it's changed quite a bit around employability, competitiveness. It's a tougher time to get a job.
And Phil, can teens work full-time, that 16 to 19-year-old age group? And if they can, what kinds of jobs do they typically get here in San Diego?
Well, they can certainly work from 16 on, and they can work full-time, 40 hours a week. Anything under that has to have parental permission, and there sort of has to be a reason for that, working in the family business or something like that. But their jobs are very entry level. I mean, they really, at high school, have very basic skills that companies
so like burger flipping jobs, things like that, or more?
A perfect example is SeaWorld, Peggy. 4,000 employees are hired for the summer. It's great for kids. But the kids need to plan out several months ahead, like 3 or 4 months, and get in line because there are interviews and it's competitive. But they're great jobs because they're customer service. They're working with the public. So there's a lot of respected training and learning while you're doing public service and customer service jobs.
And aside from SeaWorld, Phil, who's competing for these jobs that used to pretty much go to these youth workers?
Well, it's very interesting because for the first time you have grandparents competing with high school kids for the same jobs. If you go to fast food restaurants now, which used to be the entry-level job for teenagers, you'll now see 60, 65, 70-year-old people working there, either because they want the exposure and they want to stay active, or financially they can't live off of Social Security or their income. So they're competing, and it's soon starting to be mom and dad are competing with the kids.
Now, Peter, Mayor Faulkner says he's committed to adding 2,500 youth jobs here. How is the city's Connect to Careers program trying to help in that effort?
Well, Connect to Careers is a new program now in its second year, which is summer jobs for youth around our city, funded by the City of San Diego. So the support of the mayor and the city council brought us $240,000 in order to employ as many young persons as we can. Our goal last year was 200 in its first year, and we achieved that and went beyond with some other matching dollars. This year we're actually over 500 jobs, closing in on 600 already, thanks to support from the City Council. But to get to 2,500 jobs, it will take more resources in order to make that bridge happen from the interested young person and the employer. But really the most impactful thing we can do right now is for more employers to be aware that this program exists. And check us out. We're at workforce.org, and you can find out all the information you need to know how to participate and hire a motivated young person.
And I want to touch base on this too, Phil. Now, I know other cities have raised their minimum wage, reporting neither gains or losses in jobs. It's pretty even. Do you think that the wage increase here will have much of an impact?
I do. I think it will, because there's a finite amount of payroll dollars that a company has, and when they're forced to give raises that are not in relation to increase in productivity, the pie gets smaller. How big of an effect, we don't know. It's going to be a look back and see what happened. Not so much how many people were laid off, but how many people failed to get hired because of limited payroll dollars. So it's a good thing to do on the surface, but the devil's in the details about what it does to people struggling to get that first job.
Okay, and Peter, I know we have to end on this because we're almost out of time, but there's this idea that, well, maybe fewer teens are working now because they're taking summer school or it's more competitive to get into college. Do you think that that's part of the reason less teens in San Diego are working?
That could be a piece of it, but in the end, this is a rite of passage to get a summer job because it's preparation for one's career. And what employers, I think, really need to realize is that this is investing in building our future workforce. So there's a lot of young persons who are still highly motivated to work. Sure, there are some who are doing other things, but a summer job is so impactful. It's so life-changing and so life-affirming. We need to provide more opportunities for our young persons.
All right, we have more about this on our website, kpbs.org. Peter Kallstrom and Phil Blair, thank you so
Great.
much.
Thank you, Peggy.
Peggy.